Today we're going to take a look at Mulberry Gap's famous Bearhoti Trail, which is actually not a trail, but a collection of routes built on the Pinhoti Trail and the Bear Creek Trail system. So here we go. This is Bearhoti Traditional, which is a combination of Bear Creek and Pinhoti. And the traditional one is 18.3 miles, we can see right there, and this is without a shuttle. Now, if you were going to take the shuttle, you'd head out from Mulberry Gap, and we'd take you up this 4-mile climb, this little guy here, making this a super popular shuttle. But if you're heading out, you take a left right out of the driveway, and then hang a right onto Forest Service 68, which is well marked. Climb about 2 miles, and then you get to an intersection, and it's not like a left-right intersection. It's definitely like an up and a down intersection. So here you're going to go up, still on Forest Service 68, for another 2 miles. It gets even steeper up this little chunk. You'll go past Barnes Creek Waterfall, and then past the Bear Creek Overlook. And once you get to the overlook, you're only like 100 yards from the parking lot. So just a little bit further, you'll turn in, and it'll be Bear Creek Spur Trailhead, and you can pull right in there. Now the single track shoots right out the back of the parking lot there. So you are right on the Bear Creek Spur. Now taking a moment here, the Bear Creek Trail system is basically a big loop trail with a tail, just like this. And so you start right over here at this parking lot. There's also a parking lot at the bottom. And then the Pinhoti Trail kind of cuts through the middle. So all of this is really represented in this whole area there. So once people hit the trail on the spur, a lot of folks are concerned because it's technically quite challenging. It is the most technically challenging bit of the whole process here in that first quarter mile, and then it evens right out. So folks are able to continue on that spur for about 2 miles, and then you get to the outside of the loop. It'll say Bear Creek both ways because you're hitting the outside of the loop. Now, if you were going to go left, that'd take you around on this kind of boring alpine double track situation. It's a lovely hike, and you can certainly ride it, but most folks are here for the downhill single track. So when you get to that both ways, you'll see the trail goes behind the Forest Service gate. So you just loop around it and keep on going, and you get another 2 miles all downhill. Now looking at the elevation profile, that 4 miles altogether is this 4 miles right there. Folks love that nice downhill. Now, right on your right-hand side, there's going to be a sharp turn, like 5 o'clock over your shoulder, and you're turning onto Pinhoti Section 1. And you begin the climb right away. So you have big climbs down the other side, and run that out until you get to a Forest Service road. So this chunk as well, just like the first chunk, is also 4 miles. But this chunk here has big climb, the false summit where you think you made it, but you didn't, a little more climbing, and then big downhills right there. So here we have Bear Creek, here we have P1. And then once you hit to this Forest Service road, you're just going to hang a left, and you're functionally going across. It's not straight across, but it only jags down a little bit. Now, the mistake folks will make sometimes is pulling onto this Forest Service road and picking up speed because it's downhill and then having to pedal back up. Luckily, when you come out and start heading down, there's a great big Cohutta Wilderness sign right there, one of those like vehicle-sized Forest Service signs, and it's straight across from your turn. So it's only about 2 basketball courts down here. You see the sign, you see the road, and you turn onto it and drive down. So this little gravel connector is only about 1.25 miles. Now here's a useful thing to know. You'll see on some maps, this road here is Forest Service 90. That stays the same. And this road here, it says Forest Service 90B, and it was for many, many years. Just last year, the Forest Service actually changed it to A. So there is no Forest Service B anymore. So on any map like this, when you see that road shooting off to the side, whether it says B or A, it is A, and it's the one road. There's not a second one to get lost on. So you get to the end of Forest Service 90A, and you end up in a little parking lot, and then the single track for Pinhoti 2 shoots right out the back there. So we climb, we descend, and just like these first chunks, it's another 4 miles. So here's our little connector, and then this is what P2 looks like. More up than down to start, and then way more down than up to finish. Folks generally love P2. And it comes out right on the same road that we're on here at Mulberry Gap. So you just hang a right and travel back 1.7 miles until you see our driveway and come up the hill. So there is, with the big climb, there is traditional Bearhoti at 18.3 miles. Now the best thing about Bearhoti is that there's so many variations and you can make choices right out on the way. So let's say you've been planning Bearhoti for ages and you have heard bad things about Pinhoti Section 1. The climb is too steep, it's not fun, you're not in shape for it. You can do the exact same thing as you did before, onto the spur, onto the downhill side. But then when you get to the turnoff, you don't turn off onto P1. You're going to go straight out and you're going to end up in this little parking lot. This is the lower parking lot for Bear Creek. And it is on Forest Service 241. So you just follow that road. It's exactly 2 miles until you hit pavement, Gates Chapel Road. And then you hang a right, and Gates Chapel, which is pavement, becomes Wilderness Road, which is gravel. Wilderness Road becomes Forest Service 90, which is that same road, and your same landmark is there. So you're going to see the road across from the big Forest Service sign. You're going to turn on there and be able to come on down this way and carry on. This is what we call Bearhoti Light. It's almost the exact same number of miles, but this is going to be significantly easier, slight incline gravel instead of heavy climb single track there. And the nice thing is you don't really need to decide until you're right there. So you're in good shape there. That's Bearhoti Light. Now for the folks who are looking for a little bit more intensity, you can do what we call Bearhoti XL, which is running the entire thing, either way, light or regular. And then when you come out here at the bottom of the road, you're going to be heading back towards Mulberry Gap. But instead of carrying on, when you get to Pinhoti 3, you're going to hang a left, and you can go all the way as far as you want. It goes 4 miles up to Highway 52 there and the Kohata Overlook. So you could travel as far as you wanted, up to 4 miles up and 4 more miles back. And so you could add 8 miles right onto that route there before you come back in. And that's Bearhoti XL. And there's actually a little bit easier of an option as well, which is one of our most popular kind of warm-up rides or first day rides. And that is just to do the Pinhoti 2 loop by itself. So you're going to head out the driveway just like you were climbing before. Climb right there. And then that intersection where you get to the corner and we were going up versus down, this time you're actually going to go down. And it's a lovely downhill. Don't pick up too much speed because once you make that tight turn, there's going to be a little, like a hairpin turn in the road. Look ahead because in about 30 seconds, you're going to see our friend the big sign right across from Forest Service 90A. And you can take that turn, continue on there, and run back to us. And this loop, the P2 loop, is about 9.3 miles of combination gravel and single track. So between regular Bearhoti, Bearhoti Light, Bearhoti XL, and the P2 loop, you have tons of options right here. Lots of bailout points for folks who want to head back on gravel or might run into issues. Lots of high points where people are able to get phone service if they need support. And some shuttle drops. So the most popular shuttle drop, of course, is right up here at the Bear Creek Spur Trailhead. But you can also get dropped at this intersection. And you can also drop off vehicles or get dropped off over here at the base of, kind of near the Forest Service road that goes to Bear Creek parking lot. Also, one of the more popular drops is to get dropped at the top of Pinhoti 3, so you can run that as a downhill run. Enjoy!